What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Jake. Welcome to the JD Cars Automotive YouTube channel. Please be sure to go check us out at jd-cars.com. Follow us on Instagram at jd.cars, and please be sure to subscribe for more content. Today on JD Cars, we're going to be resuming the wrap on the BMW F30 here. I'm looking to tackle the front bumper, which is definitely going to be a challenge with all these recessed areas and hard angles and whatnot. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. You're going to have to lay probably like 4 inlays, one up in here, one under here, one here, one here, one here. Like it's going to be a challenge for sure. But yeah, let's get it off the car, tear it down, and get to work. Alright, so got the bumper off and completely stripped down, so that's all of our little air grates, so to speak, our kidney grills, park distance sensors. I forgot, I gotta pull off the little surround view cameras. And then I also have the headlight washer covers pulled off along with our tow point cover, because we're gonna have to wrap these separately to make sure it gets nice and around that back edge. But yeah, I'm gonna pull out those 2 cameras on either side real quick, and this thing will be fully stripped down. We'll bring it down to the basement, give it a wipe, and get wrapping. Alright, got the bumper set up here. Before I zip tied it down, I actually gave the entire back of it a really thorough wiping down, just because I don't want to run into, folding the edge over and then having it be dirty on the back. So gave it a full wipe down front and back, zip tied it down over here, and now I'm laying down some knifeless tape. As you can see, worked it into this crack right here. Very difficult, but I got it done with my little wrap sticks here. I used that one along with the circular one just to feed it into this little recess right here. Very helpful to have these little guys. But yeah, it's in there. We're gonna start cutting out some little pieces, start laying them down once I have all my knifeless in position here, and I'll let you know how this goes. Alright, so I started with this bottom edge just because it's going to be the least visible. Good place for me to start off working here. I've made it this far with no heat. I am getting a couple fingers here, so I'm about to apply some heat, but I've just been working my way around the corner, tucking it in the best I can, trimming it as I go. I actually started off with a different piece, came around to this point, and I didn't leave enough at this top part here, just kind of cut off. So I had to restart with a bigger piece and just have been trimming it back as I go here. But yeah, I'll let you know when I'm done. I did it again, guys. I didn't even trim it anymore from that last shot. I just brought it around that corner more. As you can see, I trimmed it too much. Time to restart. Alright, new plan of attack. Didn't want to run out and buy transfer paper. I'm not really sure where I'm able to get that around here, but could probably go find some if I need it. But anyways, I'm just grabbed some wax paper from upstairs. I'm laying it over, and I'm gonna trace the rough outline of what I need here, just to make my life easier, so I don't have to keep, laying it down and then finding out it doesn't fit. So this should help out. Alrighty, success, finally. So I actually used that template over there that I just roughly traced out. I used it, I applied my piece, and I messed up again. This is actually my 4th or 5th trial now, and what I found worked best was actually starting the piece up in the crack here instead of starting it out down here. It's a lot easier to start down here, sure, but then you're pushing all the material into this crack and it gets really difficult to work in here. So it's a lot easier just to stick the piece of vinyl to this, as flat as possible, and then work it around this way. And then you have a lot more room and not a huge edge interfering with working out all the fingers. So I've got it all laid down all the way around all the edges. I've used my wrap stick to really tuck it in there and hopefully the knifeless does a good job. So here we go. All right, almost gave up on it, but first inlay is done. Oh my, that took me a while. And my knifeless that was right here, it actually failed on me on both ends. So I actually pulled the knifeless out, laid this down, and then cut this by hand. Not a huge deal because it's kind of like a little indent, but you know, a little rough right there, but I think we're gonna be laying over that. When I lay this piece down, we'll just lay that edge over. But man, that was a lot of work, but I did learn a lot on this side. Should go a lot quicker over there, but I think my next plan of attack here is probably going to be an inlay right here and then another inlay right here. Oh, and of course we get to do the other side of this splitter, which is also going to be a fun inlay. Alright, so I decided to tackle the inside of this splitter next. Laid a nice piece of knifeless around the back edge right here. Pops out right there. And then one little piece of knifeless down here. I'm going to pull this one first, and then this piece, and we'll heat it up and fold that edge back around, and it should be virtually invisible. Alright, so this inlay here came out pretty beautifully. You can hardly even see that seam, and that's just because we're looking at it from this angle. When we're looking at it from above, it's going to be invisible. So this splitter came out really good. Quite happy with it. I'm sure the other side will come out a little bit better, but I've moved on to this inlay up top here. Pretty easy. A little rough back here, but that's fine. It's going to get covered up by the trim that goes right here. Now I'm going to move on to this inlay right here, which should be the final inlay on this side. It's definitely going to be really difficult because we have to navigate. You know, this is one consistent width, but then it gets really wide right here, and then we have the splitter to navigate around and tuck around. Not a lot of room to work, so this is going to be a real challenge, but see what I can do. So for starting off this piece, I actually just made a little cut right there and a little cut right here, and that should help me out in terms of getting this to fit in here. I literally just took a Sharpie, made a couple marks on the back, and then eyeballed it. Came out surprisingly good, but yeah, we'll see how this assists me in getting this positioned in here. I'm probably gonna start in here because I'd much rather work fingers out up here where I have an open edge opposed to in this little crevice. So we'll start down here and work it that way. All right, folks, here we are. All passenger side inlays now complete. A little bit rough, you know. I mean, some of the stuff like this, that's excess clear coat right there, right there. It wasn't a, you know, highly professional paint job, but whatever. Looks good enough to me. I'm happy with the outcome. Working on the other side right now, and it's already going a lot more smoothly than last time, getting it laid in to those little cracks and whatnot. So yeah, everything comes with time, trial and error, but I'm gonna keep on working, and I'll let you guys know when I'm done doing the inlays over on the driver's side, and then we can finally put our main sheet over the bumper and wrap it. Alright, so we've got all 4 inlays on that side, and now all 4 on this side. Got myself a nice big strip cut out here to do this inlay right in here, and then finally we'll be ready to put that one big sheet over the entire bumper. Quick little update on this. I basically started right in the middle, went all the way around. I gave myself a good amount of excess to work with. Went all the way around. I made these relief cuts in the corners to make folding it over easy. Went all the way around, and before I got to where I started, took some knifeless tape, ran it right over maybe like 1/16 of an inch in to where I started. laid the vinyl over, and now I'm pulling this knifeless down like so. So I've cut it a 1/16 of an inch over where I started, so I can just pull this off. Gotta be careful not to lift the other vinyl. And now pull out the other side of the knifeless. Got to retrieve that out of there, but you guys get the point. I've created a seam in the upper part, so we don't have any seams down here whatsoever, and it's just going to be hidden up there. And when we put our top piece on, it's just going to go over like this and kind of hide that front little bit of the seam. I'm going to be making the cut all the way around the inside of the edge anyways, and then the front top piece is going to go over and hide that edge. Whew, I don't even know what time it is. My phone's dead, but probably something like 11 o'clock. Just had my two brothers come down and give me a hand with this top piece. It was really difficult. It's one thing working on the car when you have magnets and you can tack stuff down easier, but I just had my two brothers come down. We held the piece of film over the bumper. It's like, I don't even know, 100-inch piece. I pulled off the backing from underneath, and then we lowered it into place. I've just trimmed it up, tacked it down a little bit in the middle here, and getting things into place. But whew, man, that's pretty crazy. So kind of funny, I was actually just going along the bottom of the bumper, and I was like, you know, my heat gun, wrapping this around, and I was like, wait a second, we already wrapped this, which is the beauty of doing those inlays. We don't have to fuss around with these impossible angles. Just make this cut right here, boom, pull that edge down. Same thing over here, pull this edge down. It's going to be underneath the bumper, so that seam really doesn't matter. But yeah, that's the beauty of doing these inlays in advance. And same thing over here, we're just going to be able to cut this out really easily. We're just going to be able to cut this, flap down, and then we just have to cover this front little edge right here. I'll show you guys later what my plan is for that. Inlays definitely make things a lot easier. So a little update. Not really focusing on the passenger side a ton right now. I've been working on the driver's side here. I have this all glassed out right here. Under the headlight glassed out, all laid down, all the way up to this top edge actually. And I got that laid down first because I remembered we can shift a lot of this excess here towards the fog light area. Even though this bumper doesn't have fog lights, we can shift a lot of this material this way. I wish I had left a little bit more slack. It's fine though, I'll make it work. But if I had left even more excess, I could just shift this entire thing up. It would all pool up here, and that's getting cut out anyways. So that's another big benefit of doing the inlays here. You can play around and have that room to move our excess over. All right, update. Completely done with the passenger side. I mean, yes, we have to do some final trimming and tuck it around the back edge. Oh, okay, and yes, we have to finalize this area, but I'm talking like glassing it out. We're completely done with the driver's side here. Looking real good. Top part of the bumper as well, all the way up to the emblem. So I'm now going to switch over to the other side and do the same thing over here. Get rid of all of this wrinkling and excess material, and then I'm going to address cutting these out and laying that flap in, this one as well. Trimming out this grill here. I don't even know what time it is. My phone died like an hour or two ago. Might be like midnight right now, but I'm just gonna keep cranking. Alright, I just finished up the driver's side here. Also did the emblem, which required drilling a very small hole in the back side to release that air. Came out just fine. And yeah, we got the whole thing pretty much glassed out. Just gotta do, you know, some edge work, some major trimming over here, and then we're gonna lay in those little flaps. Tomorrow, excuse me, it's 1 in the morning, so I'm gonna pack it in now. This was a lot more time consuming than anticipated, and it's really hard to illustrate or even convey in a video how long it takes to do a bumper like this. I mean, unless you're really good at it, you've done a lot and you can just bang it out, this is a really difficult bumper to wrap. But we're getting it done, so see you guys tomorrow. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Day 2 of the front bumper here. Just got a haircut, finally chopped off all the leady, but we're working on the front bumper here, making a lot of progress. Probably gonna finish it up within the next hour or so here, but I've been working on the kidney grills. As you can see, I've done the passenger side one right here. I've tucked it into this edge. As you guys know, the kidney grill will sit on this edge, so we don't have to worry too much about these little imperfections back here. Yes, we want to get as much of the air out as possible, and I'm going to go back over that, but our priority is making sure that this outside edge right here is clean as possible. So basically, I've just made some little relief cuts in the areas that are holding tension, give it some heat, and then push this down into that little crack there. Just trimmed the top of the bumper, nice clean line, and then I have to go around and do the same thing for all the other edges. Cut out our washer holes, sensor holes, fold that back around a little bit, and then finally we got to do our flap right here and right here. Alright, so the whole perimeter of the bumper, got all of these edges wrapped up, trimmed, got some vinyl on my shoe. Oh, got to touch that corner up a little bit, but got all these edges done. Just did this bottom edge here, and as you can see, I should have brought this out more towards the center. This inlay right here, I did on this side, and it came out beautifully. I'm really happy with this side. I mean, we're just not gonna see the bottom of the bumper like ever, especially once I put my lip on here, which is just gonna sandwich up against the bottom of the bumper, so I'm not gonna stress or worry about that. I just made a cut along here and just gonna pull off this excess, go back over that with some heat. Nice clean edge there, but like I said, we're simply not going to see the bottom of the bumper. You don't see these fasteners, do you? No, so we're not going to see this line anyways. It's just going to look, you know, like a bumper would. But yeah, we're coming together here, coming down the home stretch. I think I'm like 14 or 15 hours into this bumper, which is nuts. It's really hard to even fathom, you know, how much work goes into this without actually doing it yourself, but it's definitely doable because I have never wrapped a bumper, and we're coming down the home stretch. Alright, so I'm over on the driver's side and I'm getting this section laid in. I already made one cut right along this edge all the way down, and I overcut it like by 1/4 inch so I could fold it down over like that. Not really visible from dead on. And now I've cut around down on the bottom, released this big flap here, and I've shifted it upwards a little bit to close this gap. I haven't gotten it fully into position because it's kind of difficult to maneuver while it's still connected here, but I've shifted it up to the point that it seems like it's going to cover up that gap all the way. So now I can make a trim right here, again going over like 1/4 inch. I can trim down here, and then that will allow me to make this little flap to cover up that black right there. Alright, so I didn't really film those cuts. I'm not filming every step anymore. I'm just kind of explaining it because I've gotten to the point with this bumper where like it's, you know, every move is really stressful now because I put like 12-15 hours into this bumper, and if I make any mistakes at this point I could have to restart. So I just made these cuts. As you can see, I trimmed along the bottom here. I haven't folded it over, I just let it like drop down, but you can see that's covering up the bottom. We can shift it around if needed, and then this flap here is going to cover up that black right there. So I'm just going to work with my heat gun and my ghost glove, getting it positioned in there, and I'll let you know when I'm done with the driver's side. Whew. Alright folks, driver's side is complete. Oh my gosh, never thought I would get to this point, but here we are. I'm pretty happy with how it's come out actually. Nice clean cuts in here. You can hardly even see those seams. Yes, you can see that underseam, but when we're looking at it from above, you're not gonna see it. Hand cut this in right here. I could trim a little bit more to make that a little bit more consistent. Might do that right now actually, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this has come out. Now I have to do the same thing over on the passenger side. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do the same thing in the center here. Basically just cut like a 1/4 inch in all the way around, fold it over, get that all polished out, and that's about it folks. After that, all I have to do is cut out our little sensor holes, washer holes, and we're gonna be done finally. Whew. Alright guys, finally done with this front bumper. Oh my gosh, that was a process. I think that took me, I don't know, 20 hours, close to 20 hours for this front bumper, but I am stoked with the outcome. The only thing I'm really not happy about is some shop that will remain unnamed took the liberty of drilling 2 holes in my front bumper for a front bumper license plate mount. Like, what the hell? So that's kind of annoying, but whatever. What are you gonna do? I'll probably just, I don't know, put some decals over it or something, but not gonna worry about that. I'm really happy with the outcome here. Bumper's looking fantastic, and it's gonna look even better once we get those black kidney grills in and all the associated trims. But I do have to run out to the garage. I need to get my tow hook cover and headlight washer covers. Need to wrap those guys, put them back in. I'm gonna bring this back up to the garage, get it reassembled, and put it back on the car. So I'm gonna wrap the video up here. No real sense in keeping you guys around for those little covers. You'll see it when it's back on the car. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a very lengthy process wrapping this bumper. About 2 days invested, and all the pros I talked to who would take the bumper off the car like me and disassemble it and everything, they said it's a full day project for them. So it's really hard to convey in a video just how much effort and time and energy this takes. So huge props to the pros who can bang this stuff out even quicker than me without making the little mistakes that I make here and there. It's really an art form, and I've really come to appreciate it that much more. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are excited to see the F30 wrapped. If you are, please be sure to go smash that like button down below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on this project. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on JD Cars.